Hi, this is Rachel's Reviews, and today we're going to be doing the Disney tag that has been going around YouTube, and it's a chance for me to tell you about my love of Disney, my favorite movies and characters that they've created, and the first 8 are the tag and the rest are questions that I created. So the first question is, what is a scene in any Disney movie you wish you could experience? And there are a number that I could have picked. I could have picked the dress scene in Cinderella. That looks really fun. I could have picked the ice castle building in Frozen. That's pretty awesome. I could have picked the lantern scene in Tangled. A lot of people have picked that in different videos. But I don't know how you don't pick the flying in Peter Pan. I have dreams that I'm flying, and I think it would be really amazing to fly, so that would probably be my choice. The next question is, what's an unforgettable experience you've had at the Disney parks? And the experience that comes to mind is one of the first times that I went to the park. I was there with my dad. My dad's a very energetic, excited person, and he is very friendly, and he would talk to the people in line, and we had these little autograph books, and he would make us have the people in line or the waiters at the restaurants sign our autograph book, and at the time I thought that was so embarrassing, but now I just think it's cute, so it doesn't embarrass me anymore. The next question is, what non-Disney song brings back memories of Disney or the parks? This was a really hard question. I didn't really have a great answer. The only one I could think of was Life is a Highway, the Rascal Flatts song from Cars. The next question is, when was the first time you went to a Disney park? I'm not sure on this one, but I think I was 8 or 9 when I went to Disneyland. I've been to Disneyland, I think, 6 times. What Disney character would you pick for your best friend? I think as far as personality goes, I think I would pick Belle from Beauty and the Beast, because she's a reader, she's really spunky and fun. I think she'd be very loyal. So she would be, I think, a good best friend. But I don't know how you can't pick the genie, because he'll give you 3 wishes, and no one's ever had a friend like him. So he would be probably the most obvious choice for your best friend. Next question is, who is your favorite Disney princess? And this one is fairly easy for me to answer. It would probably be, again, Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Again, she's very loyal, she's a reader, she's smart, she doesn't go for just the first hunky guy that is after her. She sees Beauty and the Beast, which is, attractive. And then the next choice I might make would probably be Mulan, because she's kind of a tough chick, and she is very loyal to her family, and isn't I would say, pretty girl. I also love Rapunzel in Tangled, because she is, again, tough but fun and sweet, and just seems like it's somebody that is a well-rounded person, not just a beautiful person. So the next question is, what scene in Disney makes you cry? And that is actually a pretty easy one to answer as well. If not my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies is Pixar's Up. I love it. And the opening montage where you see the life of Ellie and Carl, it just moves me so much. I've seen it probably 100 times and I still cry. And then I think the next choice would probably have to be Bambi's mom scene in Bambi. Is very, very sad. So I don't know how you couldn't pick that. That's a choice. The next one is, what is your favorite Disney movie? And I kind of just answered it in the last question. But my favorite Disney movie, and my favorite movie, I think, of all time, is Up. I love it. I love the magic. I love the music. I love the characters. I think it's funny. I think it's incredibly tender-hearted and sweet. It's just my favorite movie. I could watch it over and over. I could watch it once a week for the rest of my life and still love it. What do I think is an overrated Disney movie? I mean, I like all Disney movies. Everything I mention in this video are things that I like. It's just different degrees. But I would say I probably would pick Aladdin. It's really good and I enjoy it, but I don't think it bears repeated viewing. I think Robin Williams' shtick kind of gets old, and after seeing it a couple times, I really don't think I'd want to see it again. Then the next question is, what do I think is an underrated Disney film? And I have a bunch actually that I think most people should go and check out. The first one is the movie Dumbo. And Dumbo was one I hadn't really seen or remember seeing when I was little, but a few years ago I decided to watch all of the Disney's in chronological order, and so I got Dumbo, and I was so... It's one of the shortest Disneys I think they ever did. It's barely over 60 minutes, but it's so beautiful. It's really a surrealist masterpiece. The dream sequence, the scene. I think it's the only Disney where two characters get drunk for really no reason, and but the artistry in it is just gorgeous. But there's still enough that I think kids will like it, even though it is sad. I think it's not too sad for kids to enjoy it and to learn something from it. It's still got the cute elephant and so I think it's underrated. I don't think enough people have seen it, and so I would definitely go check it out. Then the next one that I would say is underrated is The Great Mouse Detective. I love Sherlock Holmes, anything Sherlock Holmes, and I think it's a lot of fun. The great villain with Ratigan and Vincent Price as the voice is classic, and it's one I think that gets forgotten. Another one that I love is the Emperor's New Groove. It's funny, another great villain. You've got two friends. It's one of the only Disneys that is almost there's a female villain, but the rest of the characters are all men. It's a movie that when I heard about it, I thought, what? He turns into a llama? That sounds so dumb. But it's really charming and funny, and I enjoy it. Another one that I think is underrated is Mulan. I love the message. I love the character. I think that Mushu is a funny character. I think he's actually, Eddie Murphy, I think, is funnier in this than he is in the Shrek movies. But yeah, I love Mulan. The next question is, what is my favorite Disney song? And I thought of 3 songs that I really love and that you should go check out. The first one is called Candle on the Water, and it is from Pete's Dragon, which is another, I would say, underrated. It's a hidden gem, but I love the song. And then I picked Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes from Cinderella, and I love that song. Dreamy song. And then one fun song, I love Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid was my favorite movie as a child. So I have a great nostalgia for it, and I think it's a great family film, great Disney film. My least favorite Disney, I actually have more here than I was expecting. Disney went through a bit of a rough patch in the early 2000s. We had Brother Bear, which is just kind of boring and maudlin. We had Atlantis, which is so strange. It definitely feels more Saturday morning cartoon. And we had Treasure Planet, which is another very odd choice for Disney. We had Home on the Range, which I don't want to see Roseanne Barr the cow. But probably my least favorite is Lilo and Stitch. I just think Stitch looks like a cockroach, and I just don't enjoy it. And then The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It has one really good song, but overall I don't really like it, and I think it's too long. I think it's boring for kids, and I just think it's kind of boring. But it does have one really good song. And then as far as live action, I would have to pick Return to Oz, which completely scared me to death when I was little, and I just think it's dark and grim, and you know, I mean, the opening scene to Return to Oz has Dorothy not the opening scene, but one of the beginning scenes has her strapped into electroshock therapy, which is enough to freak any kid out. There's also the hallway with all the heads that the queen, the witch, has, which is forever emblazoned in my brain, and the wheelies are completely terrifying. It's just dark and it's depressing, and it doesn't have any of the light of the original 1939, which is one of my favorite movies ever. So, right, the next question is, who is the most memorable Disney villain? And I thought of three. The first one I thought of was Cruella de Vil, and she is definitely one of the most over-the-top Disney villains. She doesn't even need the money or anything else. She just wants to look good, which makes her, I think, especially villainous. And she just has a great laugh, a great henchman, and it's definitely one of the best Disney villains. The next one that I thought of is Madame Medusa from The Rescuers, and it's one that's pretty disturbing, actually. I don't know what Disney was thinking with that one. I mean, she kidnaps a little girl and forces her down a cave to get a diamond. She has pet crocodiles. It's pretty, I think in the age of Elizabeth Smart and things, I don't think you could get away with a Medusa character anymore doing what she does to a little girl. So it's one that definitely scared me as a little girl, and but it's definitely memorable, so that's why I had to pick it in this category for sure. My favorite villain, though, has to be Ursula from The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid was my favorite movie as a child. I think Ursula has one of the best voice performances of any villain. She has one of the best villain songs, Poor Unfortunate Souls. It's just a great villain song. She has that sort of truck driver, chain smoker voice, and she's funny. She makes you laugh, and she just wants revenge, which is such a classic kind of villain motive. She's not like Medusa or Cruella de Vil wants to look beautiful and is vain, whereas Medusa is greedy, and Ursula just wants power. She just wants revenge. So she's a great villain. She's very hammy, and I think she's great. The next question is, what is a favorite classic Disney? And I came up with 4 choices. First one is Jungle Book. I love the music. I think it's got a great villain. Like I said, the jazz soundtrack is just so much fun, and it's one I could watch repeatedly and just continually enjoy every time. Another one I love is 101 Dalmatians. Great villain, cute characters, fun story, a lot of humor, but also a lot of action. It's just one of the best. I've talked about it already on this vlog, but I love Cinderella. I think there's a lot of things to like. If you want to watch my Defending Cinderella movie, you can check it out. And then the last choice is Robin Hood, and I think it has one act too many. If it just ended when he rescues Maid Marian, I think it'd be a lot stronger. But still, I think it's really fun, great voices, and a great villain. So the next one is favorite Disney score, and you kind of have to go with Fantasia on this one because it's like the greatest music ever written in Fantasia, and Fantasia was so bold of Disney, and you think it was only the 3rd movie that they made, and to do something that bold is amazing. But if I'm taking out Fantasia, because that was not original Disney work, then I would probably pick The Lion King, because I love the music in The Lion King. All the songs are great, and just even the orchestrations are wonderful. I think that's why it's been able to be on Broadway for so long. The Lion King also has one of the best villain songs in Be Prepared, and great voice performances throughout the whole movie. Jeremy Irons and James Earl Jones and Matthew Broderick, they're all wonderful. Our next category is favorite live action. And I've got a lot of choices on here. I could have gone with Freaky Friday. That one's a lot of fun, and both the 60s version and the 2002 version, I believe, with Lindsay Lohan. They're both excellent and a lot of fun. Could have gone with Bedknobs and Broomsticks, which is one of my favorites. Great merging of animation, live action, great songs, historical whimsy. I could have gone with The Parent Trap, which both the newer version, and the Haley Mills version are great. They're a lot of fun, romantic, great actors as the adults in those movies. Could have gone with Old Yeller, which is definitely one that will make almost anyone cry. Even though I'm not a dog person at all, you just can't help but cry at the end of that movie. I could have gone with Swiss Family Robinson, which is very good, very exciting. The treehouse is great. There's great scene with when the pirates come and they have to fight them off. A lesser known one that I really like is called The North Avenue Irregulars, about a bunch of church moms that fight the mafia, fight the syndicate, and they're great. But I think my favorite, you gotta pick Mary Poppins. It's perfect. It's one of the best movies I think ever made. Great music, great melding of animation, great performances. Dick Van Dyke, Julie Andrews, Oscar-winning performance. It's funny, it's sweet, it's endearing. The relationship between the Mr. Banks and the children is beautiful, and you can see the growth. It's not overly sentimental. It actually makes sense with the story, what happens with Mr. Banks. It's definitely one of my favorite movies. And I loved Saving Mr. Banks from last year with Emma Thompson and Tom Hanks. So definitely go check that out if you haven't seen it. Our next question is, what is a movie I didn't like as a kid but like now? And that would definitely be Pinocchio. And again, Pinocchio is so bold. If you look at the first 5 Disney movies, it would have been so easy for them to go with A Princess Story after Snow White and the success of Snow White. But instead, they picked Pinocchio, which is really dark if you think about it. You've got this boy who's basically imprisoned and sent off with this mean man, and he tells a lie, his nose grows, and then he ends up turning into a donkey, which was completely terrifying as a kid, but now as an adult, I can definitely appreciate it more, and just the artistry that they were willing to do and how bold it was is, I think, really impressive. My last question is, what is your favorite Studio Ghibli film? And Studio Ghibli, if you're not aware, is the Japanese animation company that was founded by Hayao Miyazaki. He's the animator and director of movies such as Princess Mononoke, My Friend Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, Ponyo, some of the best movies that have been made, in my opinion, in the last 20 years. Just gorgeous animation, so creative, so different. And if you haven't heard of him, if you haven't checked out the films, they are distributed by Disney, and so they're wildly available, and they have usually pretty well-known voice dubbing actors and actresses. Tina Fey, Amy Poehler has done one. So you'll recognize the voices. I don't think you'll find them too different, too off-putting if you're not used to foreign films. They're just great, and if I had to pick one, they're all wonderful. Yeah, but one I really think is a masterpiece, it's one of the best movies I think ever made, is Spirited Away. It would be my favorite. It's pretty dark, pretty scary for, little children. It's definitely more of an older movie, but it's one of the only movies I've ever seen where I literally had no idea what was coming next. I had no clue if we're going to get the giant baby or the man with the Spider-Man with the coal servants, if we were going to be getting the wolf that turns into paper cranes. I mean, it was just so creative. There were people turning into pigs and everything, and that was so exciting to me. So many movies are predictable, and definitely Spirited Away was not predictable, and I loved it. So if you're willing to go to something that's different, that will challenge you a little bit, if you think your kids can handle that, then definitely get Spirited Away. If your kids are younger and they can't handle the scary elements, then Ponyo or My Friend Totoro is very good. So that is what I would recommend for Studio Ghibli. I really would recommend all of them. So that is my little Disney questions and answers, and I had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope you have fun listening. I know it ended up being pretty long, but please put in the comments below if you disagree with any of my choices, if you would have added things, if you would have taken things away. Please put your comments down and let me know. I'd love to chat with you about it. And thanks so much, and go check out Disney and maybe watch one that you haven't seen in a while. I think you'll really enjoy it. So thanks. Bye.